What's up everyone, this is K Collections, a 3-star Avenger Servant, oh hell yeah! But sad to say he is story locked, so no freebie and friend points, and he's not in the standard summoning pool. He will be available with Ivan, check out my review on him if you haven't yet, during Anastasia banner 2. It's a great banner regardless, but if you're saving for a Skadi or Achilles, which is coming up, then I'd say throw a few tickets, maybe you'll get lucky, watch you get MP5 Ivan before getting your first Salieri. I'll go over stats, skills, give some CE and team recommendations to see how good Antonio Salieri is. For stats, he's the only 3-star Avenger, so not too much to compare to, but in comparison to all the other 3-stars in the game, he holds the title of having the highest attack stats even in JP. Don't forget he gets a 1.1 damage modifier, so quite the heavy hitter. As sacrifice, he has the lowest HP. NP gains are okay. You'll get around 25% with an Arts Quick Arts Brave, a few percentage shy from 30%, which I consider average, but by no means is his NP gains bad. Instead, with the help of his passives and actives, Salieri's NP gains are quite phenomenal. Sergeants, on the other hand, not so much. Similar to Ivan, Salieri has a 20-30-like effect with only a 2-turn downtime when maxed out. The increase in crit damage is nice, however, he will not have any way of increasing his own low star weight without help, so you're mainly going to use this just for the stars. His arts buff is amazing, reason being is because it has the potential of carrying over next turn or after if you don't use up all 3 arts attack. It's meant for his NP, but you can use this skill early in battle to start the cooldown process. Unlike a 1-turn arts buff, this skill offers more time flexibility and control. When maxed out, you don't really have to worry about wasting it either. It's not like he's going to use 2 to 3 arts every single turn. With other servants, the command cards are mixed in, so his arts will most likely be spread out. Using the skill early in battle as a way to charge his MP faster isn't a bad idea. His final skill is a defense debuff. Now, in comparison to other servants' 1-turn defense downs, which is also a max of 30% for some, this falls a bit short because Brave Chain's 4th attack will not deal more damage, and it's not like you can choose not to attack or switch targets in between attacks without killing. So whenever you use this, by the end of your turn it'll be gone, making 1-turn defense downs a bit better. With the exception of non-attacking NPs. For example, if you use Mash's NP first and 2 regular attacks, the defense down will carry over next turn. What you can do is use the defense down on an enemy, let's say a boss, and not attack them right away. Instead, target someone else if you can. That way the boss will still have the defense down, and it gives you time to properly set up for a big attack. You will also start the cooldown process for the skill early, and then whenever you're ready, just attack the boss. So with this skill, overall, it does give you great control and flexibility before attacking. You just need to strategize a bit. Skill leveling order really depends on the role you want him to be. Arts Focus or Star Generator. I recommend his Star Regen skill first because it offers the greatest consistency, and it's also very helpful for your team. Again, it's a 20-30 effect. His passives are the typical Avenger abilities. Not saying it's bad, Avengers has one of the best, if not the best, passives in the game. Salieri's NP is an AoE that applies Arts Resist down after the damage. It's like Karna's NP, instead of Buster though, it's Arts. A great ability, especially him being so Arts focused. The goal with Salieri is to spam his Noble Phantasm as much as possible to stack the Arts Resist debuff, which not only helps himself, but your team also, which should consist of Arts Focused servants. With his NP, he should charge roughly 18 to 20% on 3 enemies. If he performs an NP Arts Brave, he can charge up to 40% NP more with his effects. Now, there is a downfall to his NP though, and that's with his Team Star Gen debuff, meaning you have to create a team that can create stars like him through skills instead of attacks. For CE recommendations, Arts is his main focus. You can add on NP gains, crit damage, higher star weight, or star creation CEs. Formal Craft with a 25% boost is extremely helpful. With Chocolatier, he can generate 13 stars through effects. Now, you can use another ending to increase his crit damage, but the problem is that his 30 star weight is even lower than Caster's, so you're not going to crit with him as often. On the other hand, you can increase his star weight. Leisure Stroll offers the best of both worlds, increasing his arts as well. Heated Sands can work, but remember, he is a dedicated art servant, more so than a crit one. With a 400 boost in absorption, Salieri will have a star weight of 150, comparable to archers. Emerald Float won't be out till this upcoming Summer 3 event. Since his main focus is NP, this gives him the best option offensively. Dante's Files, which everyone should have, boosts majority of his attacks. The NP gains also helps. Now, Huge Orange Jet is another option, but I prefer something that boosts his arts, but again, Cute Orangeette is a solid choice as well. 20-30 is great if you want him to be more of a star generator for your team. 18 to 20 stars without attacks every single turn for a while is really good, and a solid choice if you want his role to be more supportive. You know I had to add Mozart. Now Mozart is great and honestly deserves more credit, but using him with Salieri for tough quests, I wouldn't really recommend it. It depends on your third servant, what you're facing, I don't really know, but both have horrible survivability, and Mozart is an arts crit burst supporter, meaning once you use his skills, it's a 4-turn downtime. But you can use them together for fun or for the memes. If you're inclined to use them for challenge quests, you can always switch Mozart out after his skills. Pretty basic in terms of support, arts buff and 50 stars instantly. You won't even have to worry about star weights for the turn. A more consistent supporter is Caster Gilgamesh. The guy provides great offensive support, including a 3-turn arts buff. You can chain their NPs together, both being AoEs, great for wave clearing bosses, and it's quite synergistic, with Salieri reducing arts resistance first, followed up by Gil's NP. Problem is that Salieri will decrease Gil's star gen, which is one of Gil's greatest strengths, providing stars. Reversing the order would be most ideal, therefore you can create stars with Gilgamesh while also debuffing defense for Salieri's NP attack. So obviously Tamamo is the queen of art support, I don't really need to go over what she does. Anderson is a supporter who can generate stars passively as well. Between the two servants, you can create up to 19 stars every turn, both having downtimes of 2 turns. He is also one of the recommended servants because he won't be affected by Salieri's NP demerits. Now, keep in mind, survivability can be an issue for them, especially for challenge quests. As an alternative, and a bit more offensively, Helena is a solid choice for similar reasons, but can charge NP and boost command cards, although she only offers 5 stars, a little bit less. As said many times, Salieri is best with other arts crit servants. Saber Lancelot is one of the best, there are others too. Again, you need to create a team that doesn't rely on generating stars through attacks. Lancelot is godly in generating stars with skills. Between the two, you'll gain 25 stars for 3 turns. Salieri can also set Lancelot up thanks to his defense debuff and arts resist down. Now, if you put Anderson along with those two, you can generate passively 34 stars every turn for quite some time. And after his strengthening quest, which will increase this amount of stars Anderson gets, I mean, it's just gonna rain stars. Sherlock Holmes can work, but you will need a dedicated DPS arts crit. He himself isn't one, but more so a crit supporter. Salieri lacks the star weight, so he won't be as reliable. Bring Saberlot with you and you'll have a solid setup. Overall, Antonio Salieri is a good servant. He offers helpful things such as passive stars and debuffs, but there are also flaws to his kit as well, specifically his star gen debuff for your team. Another problem is that he can't fully take advantage of the stars due to his low star weight with no skills to increase it like Jalter or Lobo for example. His survivability is also an issue, having the lowest HP with no dodge effects. Now, Salieri is an effective damage dealer, having the highest attack stats for his Silver Servant, great buffs and debuffs to further increase damage output, and can charge his NP quite effectively. Being an Avenger has its pros and cons as well. He'll deal high damage as a neutral servant, but on the other side of the coin, rarely will have effective or resist damage. Now, it's easier to get him compared to 4 or 5 stars, but being locked will force you to sacrifice Sync Quartz if you want to NP5 him. Regardless, it's easier to get him at NP5 in comparison to Gold Servants. By doing so, it'll increase his NP damage. Now, the thing is, Salieri can be an art supporter. With his low star weight, he won't steal a lot of stars away from your main attacker. He can provide stars with his skill. Give him a 20-30 and he'll be a solid star generator, offering almost 20 stars without attacks. Finally, his arts resist debuff will aid your other arts focused servants. At the end, Antonio Salieri is a damage dealer with semi-support capabilities. You will need to cover his noticeable weaknesses, but his role is within an arts crit team. You will need another DPS like Saberlot and a crit supporter. One or both will need to have some form of star regen skill. Antonio Salieri is a servant you should try to get. He's different from the other Avengers and it's easier to obtain. Throw a few tickets, see if you can get him. Even at NP1, he's still helpful. So, what's your go-to arts team? Servant combinations in general doesn't have to include Salieri. Comment down below, I'd like to see different builds and perspective. A tremendous thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon or channel membership. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Fates content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day, everyone. Till next time.